So I'll be sure to point that out to you guys as well. So this room is massive. We do have some really cool cave rocks around us as well. I just want to point out a couple up in this corner here. You can see there's those crystals right there, the white ones. So that's called aragonite. It's made out of calcium carbonate. Now, calcium carbonate comes from crushed coral beds, seashells, and fish bones from ancient oceans. So it's actually proof that the tops of these mountains were actually once underneath the water table. It was all under a land-based ocean that covered the northwestern part of the United States here. So that's proof of that there. And then this stuff around it is iron oxide, and it's a rock known as limonite. It's actually proof of the hot spring also being an influence in the cave here. The hot spring pool that's at the bottom of the mountain once bubbled up into the cave system, and it's a reason why the passageway is so large is because of the sulfuric acid in that hot spring. So there was bacteria in that hot spring as well that would eat iron, metabolize it, oxidize it, and then excrete it. So we also call this million-year-old bacteria poop. So that's fun, right? And then there's also some rocks that kind of look like things too. Like I like to point out this rock here, it looks like a giant pig. There's the snout, the eye, and the ear, right? Do you see it? Like a side profile of a big pig. There's also a rock that looks like a rooster. There's the head and the tail right behind it. It works because we're in a room called the barn, so we have barn animals, right? And then there's some that are not quite barn animals, like the fish. There's the head and then the fin sticking out the back. And even over here, this one looks like a bear. There's the head and then the paw comes out right below it, right? So sometimes if you spend enough time in here, you'll start seeing things. We call it going cave crazy. It might happen to some of you on this tour. Now, we are going to continue moving on, though, and check out the rest of this room here, okay? I do recommend holding on to the handrails. The stairs can be wet and slippery, okay? And we're going to head to this platform here so we can check out some cool rocks really quick. Awesome. You guys watch your step and then watch your head in the corner. That's Headache Rock over there. Now, we have a whole lot of different types of formations around us right now, and these are all calcium carbonate formations as well. In the back, these long, skinny ones that are stick straight hanging down, those are called soda straws. They're actually hollow, so you could actually use it as a straw for your soda. And then sometimes they get clogged, and they make a cave carrot, like this guy right here. It looks like a little carrot hanging off the ceiling. There's another one in the back there that looks like it's barely just hanging on. It's kind of crazy looking. And then it starts forming a classic stalactite formation, which looks like an icicle. A good way to remember it is it's stalac-C for ceiling, and they're hanging on tight. Then the opposite of a stalactite is not a stalac-loose, it's a stalagmite. Stalag-G for ground, and you might trip. And then we also have the giant glowing Cheeto. It does look like a Cheeto, doesn't it? It makes me hungry. We did a lot of things after food in here. We got the Cheeto, carrot, soda, and bacon. Check it out, cave bacon, all over the place in here. And I think the reason why we name everything after food is because all of us are really hungry all the time because we're stuck underground all day, right? Now these formations, the way they form is whenever it rains or snows, that water seeps into the ground and it mixes with organic. Whoa, it's huge, right? Now if you guys look way down there on the stairs, you can see there's a platform with a first aid box that has a red cross reflecting back at us. Do you see that? That's our next stop. It's called the Wait Here platform. What do you guys think is going to happen down there?
We're going to wait.
That sounds great. So you guys can get down there, wait there for me. I'll be right behind you, okay? So where are you guys all from?
We coming to Rifle.
Rifle?
Yeah.
So you guys are locals. Cool. First I'm going to open up the garage door that's below us. We're going to hear the noise of that door opening. Okay. Alright. So, we will head down through that door here in just a second. But on our way down, we're going to be able to see the so look for the red spot. But to kind of give you an idea of where we're at right now, the Fairy Cave tour is directly above us. So that's where Peter started his crawl in 1960. Inside this wall, if we had x-ray specs, we'd be able to see it. The tightest point is that 8.5-inch part, and it's a vertical passageway called the Jam Crack. And then he continued crawling through another passageway that zigzags back and forth. It's called Purgatory. And then Purgatory pops you out at the bottom of a 30 to 40 foot slope. So then he had to climb up into this room. And you can imagine him popping his head up from right down there. He was the first person to ever see this space back in 1960. And he's just like, whoa, check out all these stairs. So he didn't tell the owner that he found this huge cave room. Then he bought the caves really cheap. Smart guy. Owned the caves from 1961 till about 1998. But one of my favorite things about Peter Preble was actually his middle name on his...
Ahorita vamos más para abajo todavía. Dice que son 100 escalones.
Are you okay?
Yeah, she okay.
Okay. You gave me a heart attack. That's why you gotta hold on to the railings, right? They saved you. Hold on for dear life. All right, there's the original entrance right down there, and then we're gonna head down into the King's Road.
Sí. Llega todavía más para abajo, así. Está hondo. Que vengan a ver acá en las carretas. Miren cómo está bonito.
So normally we have groups of like 30 people here, so we fill in these rows with those big groups.
Oh,
But for now we'll just squeeze you guys on in here. We'll have plenty of space for all of us. Get you guys right next to these guys, all front row, why not? That's the best way to do it, huh?
Quiero ver.
Perfect. Oh, you're wearing heels. We are going to see what a cave looks like naturally first here. So naturally means no light, right? So if you have any phones or technology, just make sure you're hiding the meaning it has the most formations in a room we found so far. If you'd like to get those phones and cameras out to take pictures, you totally can. And we're going to hang out down here for a few minutes and show you guys some different lights and things like that. But be sure to get a few pictures of the LED lit room here.
Qué bonito está.
Now, in total, in the whole cave system, including both cave tours and crawlable passageway, there's 3.5 miles of cave here. And a third of the cave is past this point, so you can crawl for over a mile down here. So that's pretty cool. And we do have people coming down here every once in a while and exploring the deeper areas of our cave. So we are still actively exploring and trying to find more passageway to this day.
And who are those people who are allowed to go there?
I'm one of them. So a few of the employees do take part in the digs, and then we have what's called lights and turn on black light.
Oh, yeah.
So black light, also known as ultraviolet, causes some really interesting reactions to happen down here. First off, if you look deeper in the room, you can see there's some spots down there that give off a green color. A good way to show it is also up front here on this stalactite. You can see that green color on the front of it. That's called fluorescence. It shows us impurities in the calcite rock. Electrons inside of the rock get really excited by the ultraviolet light. You receive a different wavelength of light coming back at you. But because the electrons are absorbing the energy from this light, it's going to hold on to it for a few seconds even after the light gets turned off. That's going to leave an effect called phosphorescence, which is fancy science talk for glow in the dark. So we are going to check out the cave glowing in the dark in just a moment. Just make sure no flash goes off for this part, and watch the rocks really closely with your eyes, okay? It's only going to glow for a couple seconds, and it's a very dim glow, okay? Are we ready? Here we go. 3, 2, 1. You can see that dim glow, right? Now it only lasts a couple seconds, but I can make... That's pretty fun, right? Yeah. I like the disco lights on the ceiling.
This is nice.
Where's the music?
It's beginning to look a lot like chaos everywhere you go. Yeah? I always like to add the black light on top of this as well. It makes it more rainbow. which is pretty cool.
You don't have a phone to take a picture.
Ahora vamos subiendo ya. Arriba. Ah, como para abajo el túnel. El estero ya viene soleado. ¿Ah? Sí. Sí. Todo para abajo.
An alien heart in that hole there. So you can kind of see like the green veins and stuff. It's kind of cool looking, right? Alien heart.